Good morning once again. I'm Regina Manyara. Now let's bring you up to speed with other stories that have been making headlines. And it is that those angling for positions of Chief Administrative Secretary will be forced to wait a little longer as the National Assembly shelved the National Government Administrative Amendment Bill that sought to legalize the positions and entrench the officers in law. The deferral of the bill was requested by Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, for what was termed as time to allow wider consultations. Give Us On Minor puts this into perspective.
The Thursday, 21st March communication in the National Assembly that the National Government Administrative Amendment Bill had been shelved to a later date now appears to throw spanner into the works in as far as the position of Chief Administrative Secretaries is concerned.
The next on the order paper was to be the National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly number 73 of 2023 by the Leader of Majority. Again, the Leader of Majority has requested the Speaker to step it down, and it has been assented to.
The bill sought to legalize the cabinet positions and entrench them into law following a court ruling that had termed them unconstitutional. The communication during a committee of the whole House revealed that Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, had written to the Speaker requesting that the bill be stepped down, reportedly for wider consultation. This was just a day after Speaker Moses Wetangula okayed the bill for debate.
The National Government Administration Laws Amendment Bill 2023 is properly before the House.
Previous day, the minority side led by Opiyo Wandayi had argued the bill contained proposals that were found unconstitutional by the courts.
We are being invited in broad daylight to establish an office through an act of parliament.
The executive office consists of the president, the deputy president, and the cabinet secretary. And then the accounting officer becomes their permanent or principal secretary. The question all of us are begging to ask, where does the chief administrative secretary fall in the architecture of their executive?
If you go to Article 132(4)(a) of the Constitution on the functions of the President, except as otherwise provided for in this Constitution, may establish an office in the public service in accordance with the recommendations of the Public Service Commission.
This followed an amendment by the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee to remove the limit on the number of chief administrative secretaries who can be appointed in office. Last year, appointees of the position were forced to stand down following a court ruling that found parts of the bill had contravened the Constitution.
Well, children across the country have been getting home for first term. It means they're closing, and we have an update. Not so good of an update is that Easy Coach bus carrying students from Chaka Valley Boys High School to Nairobi has just had an accident around the Coptic Church near Mamboleo, Kisumu. And this is continued to caution both motorists and pedestrians to observe traffic rules, especially now that we are seeing children leaving their schools, trying to get home, and vice versa. Stay safe out there. We'll be keeping tabs on that particular development. Now to matters health, where the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Unions maintains its members who are on strike will not be intimidated. KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela says issues raised by the healthcare workers should not be politicized but rather prioritized to improve their welfare and the health sector. The Kenya Union of Clinical Officers has also joined the doctors in downing the tools, further exacerbating the public health crisis. In other details, as put by Kamche Menza.
With the doctors' strike now approaching its third week, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union says it shall not succumb to intimidations.
Any governor who is actually trying to threaten or to intimidate doctors, he should intimidate them with checks that have 7 years arrears instead of Shoko's letters and mere theatrics. We have doctors who don't have comprehensive medical cover. And we are demanding that any county or any employer who wishes to demand doctors back to work need to provide this comprehensive medical cover.
KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela, who met doctors in Kirinyaga County Monday, maintained that issues affecting the health sector should first be addressed before they resume duty.
No amount of threats, legal maneuvers, or death threats will deter doctors from advocating for better healthcare system for all the Kenyans. The government must acknowledge the gravity of the issue in our strike notice and take immediate steps to resolve them. These are not issues that can be swept under the carpet or delayed any longer. As doctors, we have crossed the Rubicon, and we will not relent until all our demands in the strike notice are adequately addressed.
In the meantime, the crisis in the public health sector appears far from over after clinical officers also went the strike route. This, as a section of governors say they have settled their part of the bargain, such as payment of salaries, calling on healthcare workers not to paralyze services at the counties.
Kwa sababu kama mishahara tumelipa, dawa ziko katika hospitali, mamilioni ya pesa tumelipa ya NHIF, usikie madaktari hawaendi kazini, huijui la kwanza, hulijui la pili, yani mambo ambayo kwamba hayahusiani na watu wa county. Haya mambo ya kusema ya kwa dhambi ya serikali kuu ibebwe na watu ambao kwamba wako chini, itakuwa ni dhulma.
I remember when I came in Machakos County, I had issues with my doctors on they had not been promoted for some time. We talked and we agreed, and I went and I gave them promotion. So what I can just request the national government and us is just to engage on talks, yeah, and let there be give and take.
Muwe na solidarity, ama mnaunga mkono wenzenu Nairobi, ama mnafanya nini? Nikisikia mgonjwa mmoja amekufa hizi hospitali zangu kwa sababu nyinyi mmeshikiana na wale wengine, kwa sababu hamkuwa hapo, na nyinyi pia mtanilipa.
However, some public health facilities are operating normally. An example is Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital in Nairobi County.
Mbali na mambo mengine, walikuwa wanataka kwamba kuna ucheleweshaji wa mshahara ambayo sio hali halisi Nairobi. Nairobi watu hulipwa mapema na kwa wakati. Aidha, shida ya bima ya afya, wote wakaaji wa Nairobi wanao bima ya afya, madaktari na wafanyikazi wa umma Nairobi City County wanayo bima ya afya. So sisi tunaendelea kama kawaida. Jana tumeona wagonjwa 1600, tumefanya upasuaji 7. So hata sasa hivi tunaongea, nimeona pia madaktari wangu wako theater wanaendelea na kazi kama kawaida.
Some of the issues raised by the medical practitioners unions include delayed posting of interns, extension of contracts for UHC staff, payment of fees for doctors in postgraduate training, payment of arrears of basic salaries as per the 2017 collective bargaining agreement, lack of promotions and redesignation, shortage of over 70,000 clinical officers, among others.
Forever, for the union makes us strong. Comrades, power! Power!
Now news coming in regard to that particular accident involving Chavakali Boys High School, where several students are feared injured after the bus they were traveling in overturned on the Kisumu-Kakamega Road. Now, according to the police, is that those who were injured are currently receiving treatment at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital in Kisumu. And from Kisumu, also we have an update of what happened yesterday along the Mombasa-Nairobi highway. This is where 4 passengers are feared dead and others severely injured after multiple vehicles were involved in a road accident at Salama, the Makueni County, on the Mombasa-Nairobi highway. This is a plea to Kenyans, pedestrians and motorists alike to continue observing the traffic rules, especially with the rains and more movement, especially from various schools across the country as students head back home for their first term holiday. Now, an update in as far as matters of weather and climate are concerned is that the Kenya Meteorological Department warns that heavy downpour is expected across the country over the next week, and residents should be prepared for potential floods. According to the weatherman, Central Highlands, Western Kenya, Rift Valley, Southeast Lowlands, The coast, northeast and northwest regions will experience heavy rains from Tuesday, which is today the 2nd of April, all the way to Monday, 8th of April.
In a statement to newsrooms, the Kenya Meteorological Department, while warning of potential flooding due to heavy downpours, also says the nights will be warm with temperatures expected to surpass 25 degrees Celsius, particularly along the coast and northeastern Kenya. High temperature alerts have been issued in Turkana, Marsabit, Mandera, Wajir, Isiolo, Garissa, Tana River, Lamu, Kilifi, Mombasa and Kwale counties. The weatherman is forecasting high average daytime temperatures exceeding 30 degrees Celsius for those regions and is advising residents to stay hydrated. On the marine forecast for the next 7 days, the Kenya coast and offshore areas along the western Indian Ocean region, the weatherman predicts southeasterly to northeasterly winds over Kenya and Tanzania waters and northeasterly winds over Somalia. The sea conditions across the three countries are expected to be slight to moderate with a light to gentle breeze.
Nairobi County Government will ensure every public school in the county has a green space and every constituency has a social hall to give all children an opportunity to engage in co-curricular activities and develop their talents. This is according to Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja, who also pledged to establish mobile recording studios to benefit those talented in singing. He made the remarks at Mogra Children Homes in Muthaiga, where a well-wisher donated foodstuff.
Mobile studio, recording studio, 40 million shillings, karibu ifike. Nimeona yuko kwa meli. Itakuwa na mtaa, watu wasanii wakuja wanaimba. Ikuje Kahawa, iende Roysambu, iende wapi. But as we do that, we are going to do a studio in every sub-county. Every sub-county, we will get 50 million to make sure we have a recording studio for musicians, for choirs, for performers.
Hers is a story about survival and the future of her children, regardless of the work available. Lopeto Achom, a resident of Turkana County and a mother of 5, is an example of resilience and determination for a better tomorrow for her children. After the death of her husband in 2021, she was forced to engage in odd jobs that were often reserved for men in order to make an honest living. Lopeto works as a casual laborer to a construction site, and despite earning 500 shillings per day, she has a daily savings plan that enables her to pay school fees and put food on the table. Our reporter Nancy Okware caught up with her and filed the following story.
Kakuma Sub-County Hospital is one of the projects undertaken by the government through the Kenya Development Response to Displacement Impacts Projects Dr. Deep in collaboration with the World Bank. At this facility, several structures that include a mortuary, a maternity and a radiology room with an X-ray have been completed. Currently, a laboratory is under construction. Men are at work to beat the deadline to have the structure up and running. One woman is making a mark here. Lopeto Achom Erupe is shaking the stereotypes and determined. Lack of the right gear for such work does not deter the 36-year-old from performing her duties with utmost precision. With every scoop using her spade, she is assured of 500 shillings at the end of the day, a job she has done since 2021.
Hii kazi ya mjengo nimefanya kwa shida watoto wasome kwa sababu baba yao alikuwa ameaga. Sasa nikaona kwa sababu sina hata familia. Nikasema tu kiliko kukaa wacha tu nitumie nguvu ile Mungu amepatia.
As a widowed mother of 5, she manages to save for school fees.
Hiyo 500 hiyo kupata Joni. Hiyo 500 weka 300 kwa simu. Kila siku tu 300. Hiyo pesa kufika 2000 ama 3000 ndio natumanisha kwa hiyo kijana kwa form 4 saisi. Hiyo pesa ndio nasadia.
Her attributes resonating well with the government mantra of the bottom-up trajectory. Erupe says that she has no time to rest, as when not working at the construction site, she's out for available off jobs like doing cleaning for locals in Kakuma.
Yani nachukua mtu mmoja tu kama ni custom. Naenda tu kufulia nguo, unalipa tu na 200, 300. Besheni 2 kufua, hiyo ni 200. Najua kama hakuna kitu kingine nafanya, hata hiyo pesa ni mingi. Ndio nakuja kusaidia nanunua unga, nanunua mafuta, wala sikuendelea.
Normally, Turkana women engage in activities such as weaving, livestock herding and fishing for those close to the lake. But Erupe is among a few changing the narrative.
Ako tu wenye alikuwa na wanaume yao wamezoesha kukalisha nyumbani kukulisha. Sasa wanaona hii kitu kama hii naona kazi ngumu. Lakini mimi hakuna naona kwa sababu shida iko na nitawashia nani sasa?
The amount of work women do in Turkana in terms of search for food is enormous. In fact, in a Turkana homestead, a man who is not married, who doesn't have a wife, is a man in trouble.
As the sole breadwinner, Erupe, a mother of 5, is assured that as the day comes to an end, her family will not miss a meal and that her children will remain in school. Nancy Okware, reporting from Kakuma, Turkana County.
A section of clergy in Embu is urging the government and doctors' unions to embrace dialogue in order to end the agony patients are undergoing in public hospitals due to the ongoing doctor strike. Elsewhere, a slaughterhouse in Migori that had been dormant since its construction 3 years ago will soon start its operations. Details of this in our county news briefs.
Speaking at the opening of a new diocese of the African Independent Pentecostal Church of Kenya in Embu County, Archbishop Dr. David Njuguna regretted the suffering that the doctors' strike has subjected patients in public hospitals to and urged both the government and the unionists to resume talks aimed at resolving the grievances.
Haki ya Embu County also to have as many bishops as possible, provided they have the required membership of that churches per diocese, and a membership of about 6,000 members.
In Migori County, a slaughterhouse that lay dormant for 3 years after its construction at Karamo in Kuria West Sub-County will soon start operating. It's told due to lack of constant water supply, but the County Executive Committee member for Water and Energy, Christopher Rusana, said a 3 million shilling water equipment will be installed at the slaughterhouse to resolve the matter.
The equipping works cost 3 million Kenya shillings and will be complete in the next 2 weeks.
Elsewhere, hundreds of vulnerable families stand up for a free medical camp organized by Tumaini Health Angels Youth Group and the People at Tumaini Jangwani organization at Bulapesa in Isiolo County.
Tuliamua kuifanya Marere kwa sababu hapa kuna watoto wengi sana ambao ni watoto wetu wameathirika na mihadarati na wamesahaulika.
Meanwhile, Tana River County Women Representative Amina Dika has faulted the allocation of National Government Affirmative Actions Fund, terming it unproportional to the people's needs. She said Tana River and Lamu were too vast for the 20 million and 14 million shillings allocated to them respectively.
Ambao hiyo milioni 20 ndio hiyo ya ofisi na pia milioni 20 haikuji once, tunagawanya county mzima. Na ujue kama CDF iko na 183 milioni constituency moja, mama ako na milioni 20 ambao anatembea county nzima.
Still at the coast, cases of early pregnancies and early marriages are reported to have decreased, according to parents from Hindi area in Lamu County. They credited this success to the cooperation between the government, organizations and the local communities.
Wapo wengi sana ambao kwamba wanaweza kutoa hizi visodo. Wapo wanaume wako hapo nje, lakini ni lazima atalipia. Analipia vipi? Pengine kwa kuweza kuhakikisha, pengine wanapata, anaanza kujihusisha na mambo ambayo kwamba haifai, ngono za mapema na ambazo kwamba zinafanya kuwe na mimba za mapema.
And the Narok Teachers Training College has embraced digital learning as they switch to diploma training, committing to provide teachers skilled for the competence-based curriculum KBC.
Our strength is that we have learned that we progressively develop our structures. And we are also having a very motivated staff that actually train our teachers.
Finally, in Manyara County, over 2,000 students in secondary schools and tertiary institutions have benefited from 47 million bursary, courtesy of Lafay NGCDF.
Beneficiaries, Rahawaya, Imam ya Mosque, Muadam, NPR, na wale teachers wa madarasa. Those are the ones that we will cover under this program for this financial year for NHIF cover.
To sports, Team Kenya have just concluded the World Cross Country Championship in Belgrade, Serbia, and have arrived home Monday afternoon. Kenya retained this overall title after bagging 11 medals, 6 gold, 2 silver and 3 bronze medals.
Athletics Kenya officials, led by Jackson Tuwei, senior-most government representative, among others, converged at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to receive the Kenyan champions back home. Speaking at JKIA, Athletics Kenya President Jackson Tuwei hailed the Kenyan team for their stellar performance, urging other Kenyan athletes to copy the same.
This is the team that we selected, and the comments I had from that particular time was that this was a good team. And indeed, they have proven that they were a good team. And that is what they have done this time round.
This team to be able to give us the best Easter gift, to bring all the medals that we have seen here today, is exemplary, and we are very proud of them.
Senior Vice President Paul Mutui noted that Kenya is in a good position to make a podium finish even in the coming Paralympic Games.
This is one of the groups I have led, which has been very much disciplined, very determined, and ready to be told exactly how to go about what was expected of them. And that's how we got this very big success.
Haikuwa rahisi, competition haikuwa rahisi. Being a defending champion, people wana expect to defend title yako is not something easy. Alafu na pia tulienda tukiwa team yenye ilikuwa strong. Muliona tulikimbia mpaka the last minute tukiwa na group ya Kenya.
And a lot of pressure. For us to go and defend was not easy because every country was well prepared.
In the championships, Kenya bagged a total of 11 medals, 6 gold, 2 silver and 3 bronze medals.
Now, it was a thumbs up to the scrutineering team at the just concluded WRC Safari Rally as a world governing body. Motorsports FIA recognized their flawless efforts and commitment in ensuring rally drivers complied with the laid out regulations for their cars. The 45 scrutineers could not hide their joy as they were all awarded certificates of participation by FIA Technical Delegate Jerome Toquet and Karma Usma at the Wildlife Training and Research Institute in Naivasha. Chief Scrutineer Musa Loho said they worked tirelessly day and night to carry out checks on the rally cars to ensure their eligibility and conformation to technical regulations and safety requirements of FIA. Now, the national under-19 men and women teams have intensified their training as they continue to sharpen their skills in the elite training camps in Tarragona, Spain. The girls' coach, Jacqueline Juma, noted that her charges have shown improvement in the game, adding that such foreign exposure will improve football in the country.
The under-19 team registered a 3-0 victory over Real Zaragoza of Spain days after finishing second in the 15th edition of the Costa Daurada Cup held in Salou, Spain. Elizabeth Mideva's brace and a goal from Hilda Natecho was enough to lead the girls to glory. According to the under-19 coach Jacqueline Juma, her charges have shown improvement in the game, noting that this will improve football in the country.
Preparation is very key towards any competition. So, and again, lazima combine training na nutrition. Hiyo ndo kitu nimepick the most, that nutrition inambatana pia na training. So, these are some things that we can work on and for a better performance that we have to do.
After the win, the youngsters will embark on further skill development at the MIC camp under the guidance of esteemed international coaches.